So we are growing a lot of potatoes this year, partly because they're super easy to grow and partly because my kids eat a ton of them. And so what I wanted to do was do potatoes that I knew were a little bit more healthy than white potatoes, although we did plant some white potatoes that are good storage that we can eat all winter. Now we have a lot of potatoes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of potatoes, and we'll see how many we get. But like I said, I wanted to have more color varieties. So we've done purple, blue, white, red, and russet. Or I shouldn't say white, we did gold, Yukon gold. So those are the varieties that we did. And I'm finding it interesting that my purples and blues have a little bit less potato bug damage. So let's talk, today I want to talk to you about potato bugs. Potato bugs are actually beetles. Can you see them there? Those are adult beetles, and what they do is they actually lay eggs, and then they get little tiny nymphs, and then they grow into adults. I think the adults are less gross than the nymphs, and they're squishy and they kind of pop in your fingers. So I just want to show you those, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about it. So I have a few, like I just showed you this morning, and I saw a patch of eggs. Okay, so let me show you what the eggs look like. You see these little yellowy orangey things on the back of the leaves? Those are the eggs. You do not want to leave them there. You want to smush them. See? Because if you leave them there, I'm going to step into this row, they turn into little tiny black bugs, but then they turn into these. That's what they turn into. And then they grow into adults. And so in between, there's a couple in between stages where they're tinier bugs that look like that. And so you need to get rid of them because they will eat all the leaves and then of your plant, and the potato will not be able to survive. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm using a couple of things. I use child labor. So I have my kids come down every morning and collect bugs. There's a few that are still interested, but it'll only last a week or two, and then I'm out of child labor. I've tried paying them per bug, but then we started at like a quarter a bug, and then they want 50 cents a bug and $1 a bug, and I'm just not paying that much. So I'll come through in the morning with a little glass jar with a little bit of soapy water and flick them into the glass jar, and that'll get rid of them certainly, and then certainly that's totally organic. We'll also feed them to the chickens. If you can train your chickens to be omnivores, which is what they are, right? They're not just vegetarians. So getting chickens that had vegetarian feed is kind of weird because they're not vegetarians, they're omnivores. So that means they eat both. They eat grass and greens, but they also eat bugs. And that's one of the points of having them. Anyway, all that to say, you can certainly feed them to your chickens. You can squish the eggs, and then you can, even those little orange things, you can squish. And my 8-year-old daughter likes to do that, but it's kind of gross. But also the chickens like to eat those as well. The other thing you can use is for organic gardening, you can use something called spinosad, which is a parasite, I believe, which kills the potato bugs, and then they don't want to be on it. And you don't have to spray it very often. You don't want to spray it more than you need it. So right now, with the amount of bugs that I have, I wouldn't really spray at this point. I would just going to pick them off. The other thing you can use is neem oil, NEEM, which is a good way to get potato bugs off. You just spray it on, and you can use that kind of just as you need it. The other thing that I use that works really, really well, instead of spraying stuff to get rid of the potato bugs, I actually spray minerals on my potatoes to make them stronger and to be able to withstand a little bit more potato bugs. And that minerals I get from a local greenhouse, and it's 2 bottles, and one has minerals in it, and the other is seaweed extract. And so it's like 1 ounce per each into a gallon, and you fill a sprayer with it. And I spray all my plants. It takes about a gallon or 2 to do everything. I spray them about once a week. So that kind of is my Sunday job. I spray them has, you know, when I remember, every Sunday. And that helps keeps the plant strong. It gives them some food, supplies them with minerals, and it goes right on the leaves. You just spray it right on the leaves, and it keeps your plants a lot stronger. Tomatoes love it. Potatoes love it. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful for someone regarding potato bugs. If you have any questions, let me know.